As good as Bijan was last year en route to his first Pro Bowl appearance, I think everybody can agree that there was a lot of meat left on that bone. There were a lot of big runs that could have been had if he had broken one tackle. There could have been a lot of big runs if a block was executed perfectly, but nonetheless, he had a very good season. So in this video, we're going to talk about why he's one of the elite running backs in this league and probably, in my opinion, the best. All right, so the first thing I want to look at in this breakdown is like his one cut ability, right? In my opinion, I think Bijan, like he's one of those slasher type running backs where he makes that one cut and he goes. That's not to say he doesn't have other play styles, but this is like the main thing that stands out to me. So what we're going to get here, we're going to get a safety walking up, right? And that is going to change the blocking scheme a little bit because he's going to knife inside, right? And obviously we're doing outside zone, so everybody's going to reach block. He's going to get him, he's going to get him. And they're going to combo up to this guy, to the Mike linebacker right here, okay? And so when we watch this play out real quick, you're going to see Bijan, let's watch where his helmet is looking at the entire time, right? So keep in mind the aiming point of an outside zone run is the butt of the tackle or a tight end if he's there, right? And so once he gets this ball, he's looking dead at the linebacker. He's trying to figure out what is he going to do because he's going to make a decision based off of that linebacker, right? Because he's keying this double team. He's like, okay, let me see where he's going. And as your job as a Mike backer in the run game, your job is to shut the front door. All right. And that means do not let the run keep going or do not let the run continue to go front side. So he does his job, right? And so we're going to use that to his disadvantage. So he's going to try to shut the front door in this run. And Ryan News is going to get his hands on him and he's going to create this small lane. And once again, that one cut ability to just cut and go, right? You're going to watch Bijan right here. He's going to make that one cut and he's gone. And he can't get tackled in open space. Like, you have to be really good at that. And the only reason he didn't break this run is because of Jamel Dean and Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney didn't even try on this man. Look at this. Like, he's just sitting there just playing with him. And he knew it. He knew it if he was just like, oh, I should have just blocked him for real. Because that would have been a touchdown if he just sat up there and just blocked him like he should have. Because God, man, that's supposed to be a touchdown. All right, so for this next one, we're going to talk about his vision and his patience, right? So in this one, I think we're running tight zone. What we have here, we have a block on the end right here, but it seems like everybody's pretty much just base blocking, right? The only difference is Chris Lindstrom, he's going to work to the second level immediate to get the mic. You're going to have a block up here, right there, and then he's going to try to seal off the end, but he's going to knife inside and mess it all up, right? And one thing that we all saw from Bijan as a rookie is that he was just very overzealous when he was running. He was just eager to just go. And one thing I like about this is I teach my running backs this, right? So when you get this ball, you see this body, like you see this movement right here. It's just subtle where he's going to skip into the air. That's going to give him a chance to read the play. Receivers do this. Justin Jefferson does this a lot, by the way, where he's coming off the line. He's going to do that skip, like that little skip. It's going to give him time to read the DB, read the leverage. But in this situation, it's giving Bijan a chance to read the entire, read everybody's blocks because he wants to go right up the middle. But as you can see, there's not much going on here, right? And so he sees this lane right here develop and he's going to attack that. He's going to press that gap. I talk about pressing gaps a lot when I'm talking to my kids. So we press that gap and you get a defender to commit to that gap. You can easily cut back out of it, right? Because Bijan is a very sudden runner, but sometimes in most cases when he's doing this, or if this is any other running back in most cases, this is a tackle for a loss because that guy's going to chase him down. That guy's going to get a hand on him, but it's Bijan, his start and stop ability is like second to none almost. And he took what should have been a negative play and got 9 yards out of it. Okay, so one of my favorite things about Bijan as a runner, he does these subtle movements. But this example is not so subtle. You can see it. But in general, he does these subtle movements that gets extra yardage and gets the most out of plays. And the fact that he's so good at it, he's able to do it without really compromising his speed is just one of one. So what we're going to have here, we're going to have a motion. It's a fly motion to the other side of the field. Kadarius Hodge going to pretty much be a cutoff, but he's also going to get the attention of this backer right here, or nickel, linebacker, whatever you want to call him. He's going to take himself out of the play. So we're running outside zone, obviously. We're going to have Drake go get the nickel right here. We're going to have Ray pretty much just cut off Mike Jackson. Caleb McGarry is going to do a reach block on Jadeveon Clowney. You're going to get a double team on the nose from Drew and Chris. He's going to work to the strong side backer right here, or the Mike backer rather. Chris Lindstrom is. Matthew Bergeron is just going to completely ignore this tackle right here. He's going to go get this safety at the moment because he's going to be the most dangerous man. And they're going to get a cutoff block by Jake Matthews because he's just going to try to catch that, and he ends up not catching it at all. So when we talk about the movement that he does in this run right here, so we're going to do this motion right here. He's going to get this ball. Remember, like I said, the aiming point is the outside cheek of the tackle, outside ass cheek, whatever you want to call it, hip, doesn't matter. He's going to get out there. His aiming point is still right there. You see that his shoulders are square with that hip. And once he sees a lane develop, and you see this lane developing, we know we can beat Jadeveon Clowney, right? Because Caleb, he's trusting Caleb to hold that block, and we know arm tackles and Bijan don't go together. And so now, as you can see, it's a one-on-one between him and the safety. And I think most running backs would think, okay, I can outrun him and get to this end zone, right? But he's in a good position to make this tackle. So look at this. He's gonna make this move about the 17-yard line, right? He's gonna keep pressing outside. He's gonna stick that outside foot in the ground, boom, and he falls. Like that's ankle breaker right there. He has ankle breaker on Hall of Fame, y'all. Let's look at this. I know this is football and I just brought up a 2K reference, but that is a crazy move to make, especially without really compromising speed. He was able to get 10 more yards off of this run just by making that one move, right? That's elite. That's one of one. We've never seen this probably since Saquon. And even though he's still in the league, like people compare him to Saquon for a reason, because he's just that good as a runner. All right, so this is another good example of just that subtle body movement to get every single yard out of a run, even when it doesn't like get blocked perfectly, right? So we're gonna do outside zone. Obviously, I don't have to keep drawing up the blocking schemes for you, but we're gonna motion Drake, and he's gonna be like a wing back. That's kind of what the slot receiver is in a McVay style offense, right? That's what the slot receiver is. He's kind of like a wing back. So it's pretty much a toss sweep. And so you're going to see initially that Jake Matthews gets driven back because he gets beat off the ball and Drake London misses his block, right? And so remember, that aiming point is the outside hip of that tackle, which in this situation, it will probably be Drake because he's pretty much the end man on line of scrimmage, basically. So we look at this. You see this looks bottled up from the very start. And so Bijan, with him being special, he's still able to get 9 yards off of this because he's just that good. And you're probably thinking, okay, how did he get that 9 yards? And when we flip to this end zone angle, we're going to see, so he's going to motion Drake in, right? And once we get this toss going, you're going to see once again, this run does not look good from the start. He's like 3 to 4, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but he's going to redirect, stay calm, stay patient, right? And now he sees there's a defender right here. And what he was trying to just flip field on him, but that didn't work. So that subtle body movement right here, look at this. That hard step outside got him to bite just for a minute. So let's look at him when he does that move. Step right there, and he's jumping outside. And he's 10 yards away because Bijan is just that scary as a runner. And if Kyle, like, look at Kyle, bro. This is a pitiful block. What is that? But nonetheless, we got 9 yards off of it, bro. But this is a subtle body movement that just not a lot of guys do, because they're gonna try to round this out. And by the time, you know, they try to round it out, he's gonna get caught. But pressing him from that far away and then making that cut up field, that's special, man. So this next one we're gonna talk about is start and stop ability as well as his contact balance, because it's pretty much second to none. The only other person I think that rivals his contact balance is Alvin Kamara, okay? So we're gonna watch this. It's gonna be another toss sweep or outside zone, whatever you wanna call it. Same blocking principles as an outside zone, but it's still just basically a sweep. So we're gonna see, once he gets this ball, you see, like I said, the outside hip of that tight end if he's attached to the line. But since the split is condensed a little bit, it might be outside of Drake's hip. So we're gonna see he's pressing outside, and Charlie Warner does a good job of sealing and creating that lane to run through, okay? Once he creates that lane, he's gonna break that one tackle. Like, look at that. He just shrugs off an arm tackle right there. And my thing is, look at this. He loses speed when he gets tapped, and look at how close he is. He's pretty much about a 1 yard away as far as like depth, but like, you know, it's about 4 to 5 yards right here. But look at this. He has to re-accelerate because he also trips up. And when he accelerates, like, he doesn't even get close to him. The only reason that number 27 gets close to him because Tyrann Mathieu was in better position to stop him, right? That stop ability off of stumbling, that is crazy, because this guy was the closest to him and he didn't catch him until Bijan slowed down again. And you know how momentum works. It's physics, where if you're running faster than a guy, that faster guy's going to carry you to the end zone, right? But this is kind of like crazy to me because he gets stopped once, gets tripped up, and then he still has that breakaway speed to not even let him touch him. But since Matthew was in a better position to, get hands on him, He slows down again, but you know how momentum works in this. It's simple physics. That contact balance and start stop ability is just second to none in my opinion. And then this is a more exaggerated version. This is from the Seattle game where he pretty much trucked the safety right over here and he got about 20 more yards off of that. So let's look at it. So we're gonna motion over Kadarius. He's gonna do like a reload motion in this. It's not a reload motion, but it's like a return motion, right? And it's used to create an edge in order to seal the edge for this run, because once again, it's another toss sweep outside zone kind of mix where he's gonna get this toss, he's gonna press outside, and you see very quickly a running lane develops because Drake seals his block, and also this guy gets sealed off too. So we're creating a lane right here. And what's good about this, what's elite about this actually, is that this nose tackle gets his hands on him, right? He gets his hands on him and it doesn't really slow him down. It may slow him down just a little bit, but look at this. He's one-on-one in the alley with the safety and he drops his shoulder. And look at that. He slows down. But look at this starting stop ability. He gets hit at like the 42, right? He gets hit at the 42, spins off of that, and he gets about a good 20 yards off of this. Like, this is some insane contact balance. And I thought that he like fully trucked this guy. Like, he pretty much invited him, or he pretty much escorted him to the ground. Slowed down, does a spin, doesn't fall, and keeps going. Like, I don't think I understand how close Bijan was to like breaking some of these runs. Like, these DBs were getting very lucky that, you know, they had their help coming on the way from the backside and that he was getting slowed down. Do y'all realize how hard that is to truck somebody, spin off of your own teammate, and keep going? That is crazy good. All right, so these last two clips, we're going to look at him as a receiver, and I think this was like the most underutilized part of his game because Bijan is much more than just a check down receiver. A lot of his routes and catches were off of check downs, but like, I feel like when you involve him in the passing game and get him a part of the progression, he can be really good. So what's going to happen here is, conceptually, what we're running here is a full field concept where you have Ray Ray, he's going to run just like about a 5-yard-ish stick route, okay? You're going to have Bijan run a swing route, and this creates a high-low on this overhang defender that's supposed to be here, which is going to end up being this guy, and you're going to see why in just a second. But this is the front side of the concept. They're going to motion over Pitts. He's going to motion over. You're going to have a dig by Drake London, and then you're going to have another one following through by Darnell Mooney, okay? And then you're going to have Kyle Pitts create that high-low on this linebacker by running an out like slash return route, something like that. And so you're pretty much reading this from right to left where you're going to check the stick. It's like, this is like 1A, 1B, progress to this, and then progress to this right here. So you're creating a triangle read right here once you get off of that initial 1A, 1B. And we love triangles when we're creating passing concepts. So where this works is when this motion occurs, Broncos, they're in cover 3 sky. So if you don't know what cover 3 sky means, that means you're going to have a safety roll down and play the flats, okay? And he's going to play the curl to flat right here. You're going to have a deep third by him, deep third by him, deep third by him. This is the initial coverage structure, okay? Just letting y'all know, you're going to have in your 2 hooks, you go also the curl flat over here, right? So where this magic takes place is when they motion over Kyle Pitts, that flips the strength of the formation, because now instead of there being 3 guys on this side, there's gonna be 3 guys on this side over here, okay? And when you're in 3 sky or cover 3 sky, you're always gonna rotate weak. So when we watch this play out, the assignments change, okay? So they're gonna motion over Kyle, and you're gonna see they're gonna rock and roll the safety. So now, before this, we're just gonna stop it right here at the snap, okay? You're gonna see the coverage changes. So now he has the deep middle, he still has his deep third, he's supposed to be the curl flat defender. He's the hook. Now he becomes hook. So instead of it being 3 sky, it's going to be 3 buzz. And then he's going to have the curl flat. So they pretty much went from sky to buzz just off of one motion. And it messed up their entire coverage integrity, because once you see this play out, you're going to see that the linebacker's like, what is he doing? He's supposed to buzz out there to the flat immediately. And Bijan's wide open. And he's able to catch that, make a guy miss, make 2 guys miss, and get about, 10-ish yards off of this. This is what we need Zach Robinson to unlock. And this last thing is something we just started to do, and I'm glad we started doing when Penix got here, and that's just like take advantage of the mismatches for the linebackers, okay? So we come out in empty, and Zach Robinson, what he's drawn up here, he's going to have Bijan do a shuffle motion initially, and once he shuffles, he gets close to the line, he's going to go into a full sprint across the field and run a rail route or a wheel route. Everybody's favorite route in Madden when they're running mesh, because they want to get that long touchdown. You're going to have a under route by Kyle Pitts. Gonna have another one following him right there, and then what I'm assuming is like supposed to be like a post route or something, anything just to pretty much run off that safety to get his attention, okay? And then you're going to have Drake London. He's going to just run a quick shallow route, okay? So the way this is supposed to go is that if you have a linebacker out here, in which we do, you're going to take this because you know it's man-to-man. He's going to run across the field and get this mismatch because, you know, Bijan's faster than a running back or than a linebacker. And you want that down the field. You want that linebacker in coverage down the field on the running back and man-to-man. And if it's zone, you're probably going to work all of this. You're probably going to work the meshes. But even then, if this initial route does not work and he gets over top of this, which he still does, but it's a great throw by Kirk, by the way, you're probably going to get a rub by one of these guys, and one of these guys are going to spring open, and they also get open too. So let's watch it play out. We're going to see Bijan. He's going to do his motion. Like I said, he's going to shuffle. Then he's going to go on to a full sprint. And you're going to see the linebackers in good position. And Kirk throws this early. And I like that he threw it early because he threw it right into the bread basket, and he barely had to do anything. He had late hands and everything, okay? Nonetheless, very good throw. Like, can we please utilize more of this for Bijan? Because he could legit be a 1,000-yard rusher and 1,000-yard receiver. I don't know why we don't use this for him, or use it more often rather. But that's all for me, y'all. If y'all did enjoy this video, please be sure to like and subscribe for more. I do enjoy making this. I appreciate y'all for 1,000 subscribers, but nonetheless, I'll see you guys later in the next video. Goodbye.